on that Big Easy. Hey, Big Easy, I heard you earlier on that Big Easy. Now, you ain't keying up with 766 until the end. Hey, Big Easy, you keyed up while ago, and I heard your radio. Bye.
I'm just curious who's got what kind of conditions right about now. I don't know who's got what kind of conditions, where Mother Nature's going, what she's doing. But I tell you one thing for sure. I'm going to drop a hammer down right here in the world of sound. Your West Coast. Undermodulated beast. Oops. I think at the moment I might be overmodulated. Let me, hello. Right there. Okay, there we go. Now we're right. We weren't too far off. Motor Mouth Mall stepping one fat watt at a time. How about it, Dr. Dre? Hey, Dr. Dre, if you got a sloppy copy, Motor Mouth Mall waving break. Break. I turned the Drake on here. The Drake? Hello, test. We're back out. Now I need to find out where Mother Nature is. I heard Dr. Dre in there for a little bit, so I thought Mother Nature was going to get to going, but I guess not.
I was wrong the way the hand said hello.
Yeah, 10-4 there, 460. Hey, 460, you're out Odessa, Texas. I heard you up in there, I did. And 259, you said I got some kind of conditions out there on Colorado. Hello, 259, hello, 460 around Odessa. Motor Mouth Mall, stepping right there right now. Breaker. Yeah, 10-4 there, 460 and 410 there, 259 around Colorado. I hear you up in there at 460. I heard you roll up in there. I'm not sure if you're calling me or not, but I did hear you roll up in there a time or two. Ain't no doubt about that. Hello, 460 around Odessa, Texas. Hello, 259 around Colorado. Motor Mouth Mall, one fat watt at a time. I got down, breaker.
460 West Texas.
There you are, 460. 460 West Texas, Motor Mouth Mall, looking breaker. Hey, 460, I got you up in here. Ain't no doubt about that, Motor Mouth Mall, stepping break. I think you said 766 is up in there too. Hey, 460 around Odessa. I believe you said 766 might be up in your radio too. I'm not sure if that's the case. But I'll drop this hammer one more time in the world of sound. Right there, right now. Hello to you one more time, 460 around Odessa. Radio station, Motor Mouth Mall, stepping. I got down, breaker.
Well, again, I got a little copy on you, but I did read it in there. Hello, Motor Mouth Mall. You sure good.
Bartender 460, man, you got that bodacious audio working. Hey, 460, you got that bodacious audio doing its nasty over here on my neck of the woods, I guarantee tell you. Hello, 460, Motor Mouth Mall, stepping, breaker.
Got the audio 766, 766.
Hey, do me a big old favor and tell 7'6" I said hello. Do me a big old favor and tell 7'6" I did say hello and happy belated birthday. Motormouth Mall stepping, I got down, breaker.
Hey, 766, appreciate it, man. Heavy 7 on that 460, we're standing by.
I guess 766 has got 460's ears pinned back right about now. I guess old 766 has got his ears pinned back right now. Motormouth Mall stepping. I got down right there, breaker. Me and this bitty undermodulated station. Dropping a hammer, but no Mother Nature. I got down, breaker.
6 morning, 766. Flaming Arrow, Denver, Colorado. Good morning, wave to you.
Oh, I hear Flaming Arrow out there on Colorado. I do. Hello, Flaming Arrow. If you got a sloppy copy, Motormouth Mall waving, break.
Hey, Motormouth Mall, I got a sloppy copy. Bobby Boucher waving.
Hey, you're in town. Hello, Bobby Boucher. Well, you're smoking up in here. I'll tell you what. I didn't expect you up in here till about noon. And, I guess it's getting pretty close to noon, ain't it? 11:36. You're making good time. Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall, your West Coast Beast. Right here, right now. And, I got you all up in here. You sounded real good. And, this is what I heard. Hang on here.
Mall, I got a sloppy copy. Bobby Boucher waving.
There you go, Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall, right here, right now. I got down, breaking.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, we're still on the way into town over here now. Still a couple miles out from Better Ridge. I can get over there to that truck stop. And, I got to get a scale, and I'll get over there and get one. So it'll be a little bit, but I don't know if you'll still get me in. I'm behind this hill right now. But anyway, man.
766.
No, you're still making it just fine, and they're behind the hill, rolling up in there a little bit with Flaming Arrow and some of the skip, but your audio's coming up over the top. Sound real good, blowing smoke, and bodacious. Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall, right here, right now, and I have a live YouTube video rolling now too, by the way. I just started about 5 minutes ago. So you're back up in here, Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall. I hope I'm up in there. I got down, breaker.
Yeah, 10-4. No, it's all okay, man. That's all I can hear.
One at a time. Flaming Arrow, we're on the side.
I'm going to have to get over here and get scaled and whatnot, so it'll probably be about another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll be able to park and be able to sit back and talk a little bit. 10-4?
10-4 sounds good. Okay, well, you get scaled up. I'll catch you out here in about 20 minutes or so, and then you will be right on time. Ain't no doubt about that. All right, Bobby Boucher, take care of 7-3s. We'll catch you just back in a bit. And in the meantime, I do hear Flaming Arrow up there calling Motormouth Mall, said he can hear me out there 1 fat watt at a time. You got to get the fat part up in there. 1 P-H-A-T, fat. 1 fat watt at a time. All right, the Bobby Boucher, Motormouth Mall, your West Coast undermodulated beast. Sounding grand, by the way. I like that audio. I don't know if you did different, if you did anything different, but it sure does sound good over here. I'm back out, break.
10-4, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just went a completely different direction on this audio chain, man. I went in there and changed some things out, and so, yeah, we went a little bit direction there, but, yeah, good to hear. Glad to hear it sounds good up there in your studio. Anyway, man, I'm got to get off the radio here. I'm pretty much where I gotta be, so I'll catch up with you here in a little bit. Bobby Boucher, back quiet.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, what I particularly like about it is the highs. Very natural, very open, very articulate. Really, really good. So I'll let you do what you got to do. I'm going to leave you with this.
I'm pretty much where I got to be, so I'll catch up with you here in a little bit. Bobby Boucher, back quiet.
Hey, Bobby Boucher, take care. We'll catch you back in a little bit. Motormouth Mall, stepping right here, right now.
Hey, Motormouth Mall, 460 waving at you. Oh.
Hey, 460 Odessa, Texas. I got you up in here too. Check this out. This is what I heard.
Motormouth Mall, 460 waving at you.
There you go. Hey, 460 Odessa, Texas. Motormouth Mall waving right back at you. Break. Good morning. I'm on me, but I guess Mother Nature dipping and dabbing and flipping and flopping there. 460 Odessa, Texas. Motormouth Mall right there. Right now I got down. Breaker.
Hey, Motormouth, do me a favor and roll that nickel to 460 for me if you would there, Break.
Yeah, 10-4, a 460. If you've got any kind of a sloppy copy, Bobby Boucher is saying hello. By the way, this is what I heard.
Yeah, Motormouth, do me a favor and roll that nickel to 460 for me if you would there, Break.
I rolled that 5 and kept it all the way alive. Motormouth Mall, stepping, break. Oh, what's out there, 460?
Yeah, did you say that Bobby Boucher was able to hear me?
I don't know, Bobby. Can you hear 460? I don't think he can hear you. I think he heard me talking to you. But I think once he gets parked and destinated and hopefully he can point his mobile down toward Texas and my neck of the woods from where he's going to be the break.
It's rough out there, but well, anyway, I heard you play back there. Play back there as always, but yeah, it sounded real good on my end, listening to the playback that you played for him. But anyway, like I said, see if Mother Nature lets us have it here after a while. 73 is Motormouth Mall, 460 Odessa, Texas.
Bartender. All right, we'll hope Mother Nature gets a little bit straighter out here. And by the way, I got you all up in the air, sounding real good. My playback might make it sound too bassy. I don't know. We're going to see what happens, but it sounds good on my speakers. Check this out.
Mother Nature lets us have it here after a while. 73 Motormouth Mall, 460 Odessa, Texas.
I don't think it's really that bassy. It sounds really good in my headphones. So anyway, my playback might be exaggerating the bottom end. It usually doesn't do that, but it sounds real good. 460 Odessa, Motormouth Mall, stepping, breaker.
Yeah, that was real bassy on the playback. I hope it's not that bassy. I don't know. I've had good reports. Everybody says it sounds pretty good. Normally when I'm too bassy, people let me know, but yeah, it sounded pretty bassy on that playback.
Yeah, it's a little bit bassy. I took off the headphones and I turned up the speaker and it is just a tad bit bassy, but not enough to worry about. It sounds good, but when it's a little bit bassy on the incoming, the outgoing gets a little bit heavier, so I wouldn't change too much. Hello there, 1025. 1025 Colorado, Motormouth Mall, waving right back.
Once again, I heard you out there, and I always love to say hello to you. Glad to know that I'm making it out to the West Coast. And listening.
Got a little bit of everybody's out. I don't go down too much, just a little bit. But anyway, we'll get some better conditions and see what Mother Nature's going to do. Motormouth Mall 73, 460 West Texas, down.
10-4. Yeah, I like it. I'd leave it like that. I wouldn't take anything more out of it. It would start getting a little bit thinner. 1025, I appreciate you waving out here around the West Coast. You said you hear me out there every now and again. Like to wave a hand and make sure your radio's getting out here to the west side. And I appreciate you rolling up in there and saying hello. 460 around Odessa. Don't change anything. Leave it like it is. I can't wait to hear it with a little bit more Mother Nature. We need a little bit, tad bit more Mother Nature rocking and rolling in here. Motormouth Mall, cruising this thing one fat watt at a time. I got down, break.
Copy that there, Motormouth Mall, yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been real nice. I tell you, I'm getting 766 real good whenever he's in there.
Colorado waving right back at you. Good to hear you out there, cornbread.
Yeah, 10-4, 7'6" got a big old hammer out there. 7'6" got a great big old heavy hammer out there in the world of sound, ain't no doubt about that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a whole lot of him up in there. Oh, do one more time, 460 around Odessa. Motormouth Mall cruising this thing 1 watt at a time. A big fat watt got down.
I want to stay on this.
10-4. Hi, I'll be back on the side waiting for Mother Nature to see what she does. I'm starting to get hungry, but I want to wait out here for Bobby Boucher. He'll be back out here in about 15 minutes. He's getting his truck weighed up over there. And so anyway, we'll be back on the side waiting. Motormouth Mall, stepping breaker. Hey, 259, do me a big old favor and tell Cornbread I said hello. Hey, 259 over there in Colorado, do me a big old favor and tell Cornbread Motormouth Mall said howdy doody. I got down break.
766 came up his 24 bill. And go up to the city,
Just sit back and listen by.
Maybe 766.
Ooh, you're getting stronger there, 460. Getting better, Motormouth Mall. Step and break. By the way, 460, I got my FM situation a little bit more under control over here. I got the audio dialed in a little bit better, and anyway, we'll see how it does one of these days. But I do have the FM on this particular President Richard working, so I did it a different way, though. I'm not going to the mic jack. I'm FMing the radio a different way. You know I can't do anything stock to break.
That's all it needs to do is sound good on you, that's for sure. Hey, 766, appreciate it. I just wanted to check and see. You're the strongest signal I might receive right now, so. Anyway, appreciate that there, 766, 460, we're stepping.
Ooh, getting better.
Nah, there, 766, appreciate it again. Bye. Hey, 101, I heard you in there 101, but 766 had that long one. But I did hear you 101, 460 West Texas.
Okay, Motormouth Mall, I made it. Yeah, now we're parked up over here. I don't know what kind of signal I'm putting on you, but hopefully I'm making it over the mess.
Yeah, you're kind of like marginally making it into my radio. I kind of got you like this.
Motormouth Mall, I made it. Yeah, now we're parked up over here. I don't know what kind of signal I'm putting on you, but hopefully I'm making it over the mess.
Marginal, my rear end. Ears blown smoke, Bobby. You got that hammer down.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, good deal. Yeah, I know where I park over in here in this particular spot, and I usually can get in your receipt pretty good. I know last time I was 10 over, but, you know, conditions are a little bit weird sometimes. So, yeah, good. Glad to hear I'm making it in there pretty good.
Right, sure. Yeah, real good job. Big Hammer, nice audio, beautiful audio, by the way. You know, I'm curious about something. If I unplug a cable and click a couple mouse buttons, I can go to FM, and while you're really close on this channel right here, right now, with your audio the way it is, I'd like to hear your radio on FM and see if I can talk to you on this one, just for fun. I want to try some. This will be the first time I've tried this on the air with the recording going. So, if you don't mind, give me about, it'll take, you just go to, flip a stock switch and go to FM. With me, I gotta actually do a little bit before I get there, but it'll take me about 20 seconds. I'll be right back. Hey, Bobby Boucher, let's try FM.
All right, now, real quick before you go, I don't know, does it matter as far as the antenna tuning? Will that make any difference there?
Oh, no, same frequency, same everything. What you might want to do is, if you have a variable carrier, you know, on the radio, make sure it's not turned all the way up. Keep it turned, you know, midway or down. But yeah, tuning the frequency is all the same to break.
Yeah, 10-4. Okay, I'll meet you over there.
Roger. Sure.
Okay, I made it. Yeah, nothing changed as far as any of that goes. Yeah, my carrier's a little bit higher, but I got it turned all the way down. But, yeah, what's it doing over there?
Well, I'm not so sure. Oh, hold on. Here, all right. I'm on FM, and they switch this over to here. Anyway, I'm on FM, but I don't think you are. I can still hear you real well. Keep again.
Yeah, it shows that I'm on FM, and you know, as far as SWRs and reactance, all that, that's still the same. But yeah, I'm definitely on FM.
Oh, I think you have to change your stock modified switch over to stock.
No, I don't have anything like that. I went straight into the final section.
Oh, well then you don't have FM anymore, or sideband. Okay, gotcha. All right, the stock modified switch is what allows you to do that. All right, I'm going to go back.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that, because then I have no idea what I was transmitting on. I have no clue. I wasn't on FM, I don't know.
You're still on AM. What's happening is when you go to FM, it doesn't matter because the modulator is supplying the voltage. The modulator is supplying the voltage for the carrier level and modulating the carrier. So even though you turn the switch in the radio to FM, it doesn't matter because the radio is not controlling the final one driver. So when you thought you were on FM, you were still on AM to break.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. No, I don't have any way of getting there. I didn't put any stock switch in this. I just went straight into the final section. I didn't want any extra or anything going on with it, you know what I mean? Just kind of keep it simple and clean.
Yeah, 10-4, okay. I was on the wrong profile there. The last transmission I was on my FM profile. I have two profiles. It's a funny thing though, I got one session file on Live Professor, and I have two rows of plugins. I've got a row of plugins on the left side and a row of plugins on the right side. And they all work at the same time, but the very last plugin in each one, I can either disconnect or connect it. And so when I go to AM, I use this one, and when I go to FM, I use the other one. And that way I've got two sessions running parallel at the same time on the same session of Live Professor. And then when I go to FM, all I have to do, I leave my transmitter in FM all the time. And when I modulate the modulator and don't plug any audio into the FM, then it's AM. If I stop putting any audio into the modulator just performs the carrier function, and then the audio goes in my direct injection on FM. I do have an FM radio, but I'm deliberately frequency modulating the VCO of the radio to try to get a little bit more bandwidth. and a little bit better high frequency response. The PLL and all that in the radio still limits the overall bandwidth. So, but I do get a little bit better frequency response going directly into the VCO. So that's how I do FM over here on this end, and works pretty good there, Brady.
Yeah, it sounds good. You know, I wish I could hear it. I really do. I mean, that sounds interesting. Yeah, and actually the FCC went ahead and they okayed FM on the CB band now. I don't know if you heard about that, but Cobra lobbied them and, you know, put in a request a couple times, and they finally got it approved. I don't think the bandwidth is going to be as wide, you know, like it would be on standard FM broadcast, but seems like they passed it.
Yeah, they did. That's the only reason I'm messing with FM is because it was passed. That's the whole reason for this. Yeah. No, the bandwidth is still limited. I'm a little wider than total, but they want you to stay within 8 kilohertz total bandwidth and plus or minus 2 kilohertz deviation. And commercial broadcast is 75 kilohertz wide. So, but you know, you got to have room. You got to have room for the 38 kilohertz sidebands. You have to have room for the 19 kilohertz pilot and the baseband audio. So anyway, so when I'm in FM, when I'm in AM mode, my audio goes through the live processor set up for AM, and then into my final processor, and then out to the transmitter. And then if I'm in FM mode, the audio comes out of the other session tile, coming out of the live processor and into the console, and then the console feeds both processors, and one of the processors is an Optimod FM 8100A, and so I feed my 8100A into the FM port. So anyway, that's how I do that. And if you wanted to hear it, you won't hear it on the air right now, but let me do it on Facebook. Well, actually, you heard it when I was there earlier. I think I switched over to the SDR. The Drake really doesn't have a very good sound on FM on receive. The SDR does. The 2510 surprisingly does. But the Drake is a little bit hollow sounding. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's available. It's there for us to use if we want to break.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's definitely something that's interesting, you know. It kind of gives a different aspect to the hobby. And, you know, it sounds better, you know, for a standard radio. I think that'd be really beneficial, you know, for people with, you know, just a standard radio, not doing any processing or anything like that. You know, their audio quality would definitely sound, I would imagine, a little bit better.
Well, yeah, stock versus stock, I'd rather hear FM than AM, but once you modify the signal, I'd rather hear AM than FM. But FM does have a point, you know, it does work. Anyway, Bobby would say Supernatural's waving at you, by the way. And, yeah, so anyway, FM is interesting. We'll have to, you know, if you want to do FM on your rig, all you got to do is put a single-pole double-throw switch on the back of the radio or someplace and interrupt that feed from that third pin. You know how you use J3 and J4, or the equivalent of those? Yeah, I think it was J3 and J4 on the 955. You just, you know, disconnect those two from the emitter leg that feeds them and connect them back to the original place that they used to be, which is the other side of those pins, either one. They're already bridged together, so you just touch it to either one of the two and you're back to stock again. So if you go back to stock, then you can go back to sideband and FM. And the good thing about running the modulator, in my case, using the modulator for the power supply for FM, is that the radio doesn't even think about getting warm. Real warm. And with the modulator, it doesn't even think about getting warm. It just stays nice and cool. and the modulator does, there's the carrier
Yeah, it makes sense that the radio would run warmer on FM because, I mean, it's just all carrier, right? I mean, it's frequency modulation, so that means it's pretty much at full output all the time, right?
Exactly, or whatever output you set it at, but it's at that whatever fixed level you set it at, that's where it is all the time. It just deviates off the center from one side to the other. So yeah, it's always at this right level, whereas AM, you know, it peaks a lot higher than the carrier is if it's set up right. And not everybody's radio does that. Some people, you hear them key up on the anywhere, you hear them key up and their doggone carrier and everything's all maxed out already. And the only way it can modulate is downwards. But with FM, you can go as high as you want, and you can run Class C amplifiers and not worry about linearity and all that stuff. But you better have a power supply that can put out the power to keep up with it and stay within the limitations of the devices and the heat dissipation. As long as you can do that, you can run, you know, big hammer, more power all the time with the same good quality audio. But, you know, I think FM is going to really show off well and shine really well in the shootout world. That's where FM is really going to have its place. It's going to be in the competition shootout world where they're all running the maximum smoke they can get out of their boxes, and FM is perfect for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to scream into the mic, you know, it's pretty much there. I wonder how well FM propagates, you know, in comparison to AM, you know, as far as, you know, conditions and everything. I mean, is it pretty much the same, or does AM skip a little bit better?
No, same propagation, different mode of operation, same propagation. The only difference being that because you don't have to worry about amplitude modulation and having headroom, you can have 6 dB more output in carrier by running your amp full wide open. So one S unit is one S unit. And so in that respect, you can actually do better with FM. But as far as the propagation goes, it's the same. They're breaking.
Yeah. The only issue with that is, man, you got to really have something to keep your amplifiers cool. I mean, liquid cooling, heavy-duty fans, all kinds of things. I mean, you know how it is. You know, carrier will get an amplifier hotter than anything. So yeah, but that is pretty neat. You know, that's something to play around with. You know, and like you said, it probably will take off. I would imagine that you know, the typical just regular CD user, you know, would probably find it pretty interesting.
Yeah, and the problem is the interference. You know, FM, it's really cool in the sense that, you know, when somebody's keyed up and you've got audio in somebody's radio, you sound okay, you sound good. But when you unkey, you get all that noise, so you got to squelch it up. Well, squelch only works when there's no other QRM anywhere, other noise, adjacent channel noise, bleed over, that kind of thing, or co-channel stuff. When that stuff is gone, it's beautiful. But as soon as you got all that noise in there, you can't use the squelch anymore. It doesn't really work. And now you have competing signals, which is what the problem is with the FM thing and CB and AM being both legal and both used. Of course, not widely used right now, but it will be, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But that's the problem, is going to be co-channel interference or even adjacent channel interference. People that, you know, are experiencing bleed over, they won't be able to squelch out anything. So that noise, the competing stuff's going to be there, and that gets aggravating and tiresome to the ear. So FM only works well when you have the ability to get full quieting on somebody and not have that interfering noise in the background. You know, so I don't think it would ever work well on the Bull. I think AM has a place for that. But if you're traveling with somebody and you're close by, truckers, you know, whatever, in a head in the same direction, you crank the squelch up so all you hear is each other, and then FM works great. And then the quality is, you know, a stock FM radio is going to sound better than a stock AM radio. But a modified AM radio, in my book, wins over FM. But you can still have good quality audio in FM. I mean, exceptional quality, but you're limited to the bandwidth
right? And so if you over-deviate and you get too wide, you're going to become noise in a radio that's narrow-banded. So again, herein lies the problem of bandwidth. So I still prefer AM to break AM rules, but FM has a place.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially, like what you were saying, if you have two drivers, two people going down the road, it kind of resolves the whole over-modulated, distorted thing between them, but with all that noise you're talking about, yeah, I can see that being a big problem. And then, bandwidth limitation. We like to run our audio 10 kilohertz wide. I do. That's pretty much where it's at. It gets slightly over into the adjacents a little bit, but shouldn't be too much. But, as far as bandwidth and the ability to modify the audio, you can pretty much, there's no limitations. You can pretty much get whatever sound you want. I see what you're saying. I think it's a pretty cool. It might be a novelty, I don't know, but something extra to play with. For a lot of people, it probably be pretty interesting.
Yeah, 10-4. I think it's a novelty more than anything else. It has a place, but for the most part, it's something different. Yeah, I like the. Now I do want to experiment eventually someday. Not on this radio because it's got PLL limitations. The PLL limits the bandwidth of the deviation, believe it or not. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to get one that'll go as far as you want to go, and then I'm going to put the Optimod into it and go 75 kilohertz wide and put stereo out there. And then somebody with an SDR receiver with SWFM can listen to stereo FM at 75 kilohertz and have commercial quality FM radio on their SDR. But I can't pass that audio with this radio. I've broadbanded it as far as I can go, and it barely gets out and eats up the whole 10 kilohertz channel, which, on FM, you can hear all the highs, but it won't go any higher. And it won't go, it won't pass the 19 kilohertz pilot, and it won't pass the 38 kilohertz sideband. So, can't work, not with here, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before you and, others out there start tweaking it and modifying it and getting a whole new thing started, I think you said somebody was waving at me. I think they might have been on your channel. I don't remember who it was, but I'm waiting for
Supernatural was saying hello. He logged in on Messenger, but he's watching the channel. He's watching the YouTube channel, and he logged in to say hello to you.
Joe, Supernatural, Bobby Boucher waving at you, and somebody's coming in pretty strong right now. I don't know if I'm getting over the top of them.
Wait, not the hide.
10-4. It might be 7 over there in Colorado.
Yeah, they were coming in pretty strong. I imagine if they're hitting me pretty strong down here with these little mobile antennas, you're probably getting them in pretty good up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's 7. He has perfect stuff for FM there.
Let it car, Brett.
10-4, so he's starting to get into that?
No, just listen to his amplifier all maxed out. It would be perfect for FM.
I'm going to the 21.
Oh, yeah, the swinging backwards thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some out there, man. I know we got some locals, they like to crank that carrier up because it says power on the face of their radios. They think they turn that power knob up, it gives them more power. Just all it does is eat up all the headroom and make their audio quieter, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's for some reason it's really tough to get that point across. It really is tough to get that across, but, Yeah, I was reading somebody on Facebook, I guess it was, that they were talking about the modulator being snake oil and all that. Man, if they could hear your audio, if they could hear my audio, if they could hear all this, if they knew what was going on, they would think different. But, yeah, I think what they don't understand is there's a few people out there who have had a modulator who don't understand how to use it, how to set it up, and what to do with it. And so, of course, because it allows you to make a mistake, if you make a mistake, everyone's going to hear the mistake. If you don't make a mistake, it'll sound good. So, anyway, I wish they heard your radio, because your modulator's working perfect over here.
10-4, good deal. Yeah. I went in and changed some things. I went in, swapped one of my compressors out for a different compressor and kind of rearranged things. Did some gain stage changes and different EQ. Nothing major, nothing completely off the rails or anything, but I figured I'd try something different.
Well, I sure like it. It sounds real clear, real articulate, real clean, good bottom end, good top end, the right amount of reverb. I'm not sure how to say how good it sounds. I will play it back, but you'll listen to it live in real time on YouTube later on. Not real time, but you know what I mean, direct. But here's the playback.
10-4, good deal. Yeah. I went in and changed some things. I went in, swapped one of my compressors out for a different compressor and kind of rearranged things. Did some gain stage changes and different EQ. Nothing major, nothing completely off the rails or anything, but I figured I'd try something different.
Well, I know I like it. I know it's working over here.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I'll get into. I'll look at the gate a little while when I get into the dock. I got to get start getting loaded and everything, and I'll listen to it and see if there's anything in there that I want to change or leave alone, or you know how it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. I hope you don't change it. I think right now is the best I've ever heard you. It's just really it's got the sound that I think everybody would want to bring.
Yeah, Roger. Well, good deal. Yeah, I put this one together, I don't know, close to a week ago or so. And, it sounded good in my headphones, and I was, thinking, all right, man, now I can get some audio checks. And it's like everybody's gone. I mean, conditions just been crap, and the locals I normally drive through, and talk to, they're not on, and you know how it goes, man. I mean, it's like when you're up there on the hill and you get an audio chain set up and you want to get some sound checks, and there's no Mother Nature. It's kind of been that way for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that does happen a lot, but it's finally, it's rewarding when you finally get a QSO and a check and figure out what it's going to do and what it's doing. And then you realize, this is where I wanted it to go. So, yeah, congratulations. By the way, I got my ring rotor, as you know. I think you probably know. I got my ring rotor, and I got it up on the tower. And I got I'm waiting on the electronics. It's supposed to show up here soon. But I got the beam, all the boom is assembled, and at the base of the tower, all the fly wires are on, except for 3 front ones. I had to order some more Philistran for the 3 longer front fly wires. And all the elements are cut and put together and welded, and all the seams are welded. So the antenna is going to be all, essentially all the parts, all the elements are all 1 units, single units, as opposed to relying on a clamp. And the matching network is almost done. But I gotta move some things around and redo a strap, and then the matching network will be done. Then I can put all the parts on the boom and raise it up. So yeah, getting closer.
Yeah, I watched that video, of that ring rotor that you made. I think you said it's 32 or 36 inches in diameter or something like that. That thing's pretty damn big. I mean, looks like it handle a whole lot more than you're going to put on it, which is good. So you're basically waiting on the motors right
the motors. I'm waiting on the electronic controller box. The controller box, some Phyllis Strand, and then I can finish and the matching network. I gotta finish, putting together the last details on the matching network. And then it'll be all ready to go up. But yeah, 36 inches in diameter. It'll handle over 300 pounds. Easy. They rated it 300 pounds. It'll handle more than that. And it's got 2 motors on it, and each motor runs with the other. They run at the same time in parallel. And each motor, it goes to a small gearbox. It's like a window crank motor. It's about 2 inches in diameter and about 4 inches long. Has a built-in gear reduction box on it. And then that goes into yet another reduction box. And then that has a sprocket that goes out, not a sprocket, but a gear that goes out and runs on the 36-inch gear. So it's going to have all kinds of braking force and all kinds of torque and all that. So, yeah, it's coming along.
Yeah, that's good. Especially when you get it to where you want it and you stop the thing. All that momentum, that inertia puts a lot of lash. If there's any lash in there, man, it'll start. Well, sounds like with all that gear reduction and braking power and torque in there, it sounds like it should be pretty robust. Doesn't sound like you'll have too many issues with it.
No, I think it's going to be good. But I'm going to try something here. I'm feeding YouTube with the Drake. I'm going to try, just for fun here, feeding the
SDR. It's got a little bit more of a hum in it. That's the power thing. That's RF. It's not really a hum on the carrier. But now I'm feeding the SDR into YouTube. So we'll see what that does. I'm going to turn the headphones down and narrow up the bandwidth a little bit to 5 kilohertz on either side. And that's what I'll do. I'll just keep that feeding YouTube for a little bit. Radio station Motormouth Mall, your West Coast. Undermodulated beast. Got down, right there, breaker.
Yeah, 10-4. So I was coming in on the Drake, and now you switched me over to the SDR. Were you talking about how your audio was feeding YouTube there, Break?
Yeah, only my audio. Your audio's always been on the Drake, but my audio is on my ears, my monitor, and the feed to YouTube was coming off the Drake. Now my monitor is coming off the Drake from my headphones, but the SDR is feeding YouTube. And if I push this button
here, then the Drake will be feeding YouTube, and then
this back to the SDR again. So anyway, and now I shouldn't hear that in my headphones, but I hear a little bit of a buzz difference in the headphones. Anyway, that's now me feeding YouTube. I'm not sure which is better on the feed, but oh well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you'll listen to it later on the gate. That way you'll hear for yourself what sounds better on your audio. I know that's a challenge, for your setup. Try to get your audio to sound like it actually does. That's the thing. And when I'm here, I always enjoy hearing your audio straight into this receiver, because the channel doesn't do it justice. It never sounds as good as your audio actually does live. And yeah, it's pretty cool, to be able to get over here. We don't get over here often enough, but when we do, it's always nice.
Oh, let me try something. All right. There, for some reason, is a difference. There technically shouldn't be, but there is a difference between, I left the transmitter in FM mode, and because I shut the audio off to the FM feed and was amplitude modulating the carrier, the audio or the voltage on the final and driver, the difference is subtle, But when I'm not talking, if I leave the transmitter in the FM mode, there was a little bit more sideband shoulder than there should have been. And when I go to AM, it's all gone. So I guess I do have to change the mode switch. I was all jazzed that I didn't have to worry about changing the mode switch, but I guess I will. Anyway, yeah, it's really tricky when you've got outgoing audio over the air that people are hearing in their receivers, and then you have audio local that you gather off of another receiver and try to send it through another medium. Very difficult to try to get it to sound real. But anyway, yeah. It sure is awful good to hear you roll up in town. I'll tell you what, that audio you've got there is phenomenal. And you must get a lot of compliments on that.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's been, like the last, close to a week, I've had this audio chain up, and I got some feedback from a local out there, and he said it sounded good, but he's used to hearing me, and he's like 14 miles away from me, kind of behind a hill, so he gets me in pretty good, but not that great sometimes. But I just, like I was saying, I haven't really had a chance to talk to anybody, so I just been waiting for Mother Nature, or waiting for the opportunity to to get into some of the local areas that I roll through, to be able to talk to some of the base stations, and nobody's been on the radio. But, I've talked to a couple truck drivers, and, he kind of, if you ask for a radio check from a truck driver in general, not all, but, yeah, it's working. Yeah, it sounds fine, kind of thing. And, so that doesn't really give you a whole lot of feedback to go off of. But, yeah, like I was saying, this one sounded pretty good in my headphones, and it's a little bit different. I just kind of left it alone. Actually, I left it completely alone. And, yeah, it's good to get over here, get some feedback from you, and I appreciate it. And to be able to listen to it on the gate.
Oh, let me give you a comparison here. Check it out. Yeah, there's not enough signal strength on the other stations, so I was going to give you a comparison. But yeah, it's so amazing. I would go through and I would take all those other session files you have, and I would delete them. I would delete everything and make what you have now the one and only. Because it's the one. It's definitely, without a doubt, the one.
10-4. Oh, good deal. Yeah, I got a thumb drive, and I do cycle through them. I only keep usually 8 to 10 at a time, and I kind of pitch them out the window as I go, kind of thing. But as far as that way, and open up the wrong, it opens up on one I left, because I do. It gets confused. I come up with names that'll be different, but kind of all run together. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I don't. Want to hear something a little weird? I'm going to try something. See here, I got audio going there, audio going there. This has to be on AM. No, it's got to be on. It's got to be on FM. Yeah, it's got to be on FM. I'm gonna try to turn on both. Let me turn on both of these at the same time. All right, now I'm going to turn on both audio session files. Now that made a difference in my headphones right there. Now, I just added some bottom end. I didn't really add bottom end. I'm feeding both the session files. Now let me unkey and go to FM. Let me just check something here on the monitor. Hold on a second. Let me go to here and monitor. Take this off here. Turn this on and monitor FM. Sure. Okay. That's good. Again. All right. That's slice it. Wow, why does that sound so weird? Yeah, because because FM doesn't sound right when I have the AM going. I have to turn off the AM. This right here. And then I gotta turn off the other file. Yeah, I can't do it. I was gonna run them both at the same time. If you're on AM, you switch to AM, I can run them both at the same time. But, I don't know what that sounds like.
You know, I mean, I really couldn't hear any difference out here. I don't know if you're just talking about what you're hearing in your headphones and what's going out on YouTube. But as far as out here, I really didn't hear any difference. I mean, for a second, you kind of went away. Not when you unkeyed, but you made a change or a switch or something, and you kind of went away. But as far as the audio, I didn't really hear a difference out here.
Roger. Okay. Yeah, that was a momentary feed from everything. All at once, I turned it off again. It was very strange. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go back to, let's see here, what am I going to do? Turn this off. I'll leave it like it is. I'll continue feeding the SDR to YouTube. I hope it works okay. You know, I haven't even looked at my YouTube feed to see if people can hear it. I wonder if that's the case. Oh yeah, okay. It's working. Clearer on YouTube. Interesting. Clearer on YouTube, not sure about the actual air. So how can you say it sounds clearer on YouTube if you can't hear the actual air feed? I'm confused.
Now, they might be talking about when you were feeding your audio through the Drake to YouTube versus feeding it through the SDR. Because I do notice, like when I watch the gates, the channels, sometimes you're real clear and sometimes it's pretty beat up. So maybe that's what they're talking about. You know, they obviously can't hear the live audio, but yeah, I can tell you the live audio didn't change.
Roger. Yeah. It's always over the air, whether it's the Drake or the SDR or the 7300 or the 148 or the 2510. Let me see here, the 2510. Let me listen to that for a second, see what that sounds like. Let me turn this off, turn this back on again, and turn the 2510 on. Oh, wow. There we go, AM. All right, let me turn that down. That's the 2510. It's getting a little bit hammered. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, too much RF. Anyway, that's the 2510. They're all over the air, no matter which one I use. I never feed direct audio into the thing anymore. It doesn't work so well. Well, SDR is there. Anyway, I think that's the one that people like best is the SDR, but sometimes the SDR gets hammered so bad that I can't use it as a feed. Or it gets all overdriven and saturated. And then the only one that works good at that point is the Drake. And the Drake is
right here. Hello, test. Which I have the highs on the Drake rolled off so I don't have the feedback in the headphones. So that's why I use it as a monitor radio so I can monitor it. But I don't monitor it to the nth degree. I just make sure it sounds the same from one day to the next. So I turn the highs down on the Drake. So the
SDR will have more highs. Anyway, Motormouth Mall stepping.
Yeah, I know you were telling me, those high frequency give you a lot of ear fatigue when you're monitoring your own audio. But what I was talking about was the, on the YouTube itself, the source of your audio that goes out on YouTube. Now, does that change? I mean, what receiver is feeding your audio directly to YouTube?
Any one that I choose. The Drake, the SDR, the 148, the 7300, or the 2510. Right now I've got the 148 and the 7300 turned off. I've got the Drake and the SDR and the 2510 turned on. So right now if I just push this button, I'm transmitting my monitor audio, my outgoing audio, my transmit audio is going out over YouTube via the SDR,
Now it's going out over the Drake with the low frequencies, or with the highs turned down. Now turn the highs up a little bit like that right there. And then, it gets louder too. And then I'm going to switch over to the 2510. And that's the 2510 right there. And it's picky about where the coax is. Oh, and I gotta unkey this. Hang on a second. I'll key back up again. Alright, there we go. So yeah, there's the 2510. There's
the SDR, and here's
the Drake. And then here's the Drake with the low frequencies maxed, and then here's the Drake with the high frequencies, and then the Drake with the mid-range. And anyway, that's what it is. Now I'm going to put the Drake back where it normally goes. Use it as my monitor.
feed the SDR to YouTube, and the whole time your audio is going on to YouTube via the SDR.
Okay. I wonder if there's somebody out there watching right now that could give you direct feedback, through the messages there that people, that we can send you when you got the gate open. I wonder if anybody could tell you which one sounded better as far as your audio, when you were talking that entire time and switching the receivers, because maybe one of those receivers sounds better than the other, as far as your audio is concerned on the gate, maybe.
Yeah, 2510 sounds punchy, and the Drake sounds better than the 2510. That is clean. What is that? So I believe the cleanest setting is right now with the SDR feeding it. But the consensus, I believe, is that the Drake sounds better than the 2510, and the 2510 sounds crunchy. And the reason for that is because of the RF and the antenna and the coax hanging off the receivers. If I moved all that around, it would change. But yeah, confirm there, Randy, if you could for me. Confirm that the SDR sounds better than the Drake, or the Drake sounds better than the SDR. So here's the SDR right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here comes the Drake. Let me unkey, I got a 3-minute timer on this doggone Richard. All right, here comes the Drake.
So there's the Drake. That's the Drake in bassy mode right there. Hello, test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the Drake in mid-range mode. Hello, test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's the Drake with the highs all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know which one sounds best to you over YouTube, whether it's the Drake, in which mode the Drake is in, low, medium, or high, or the
SDR, which is right there. Motor mouth mall, stepping, and got down break.
Was saying it is always nice to hear your audio live, and I enjoy watching the gates too. I pretty much always do, when I can. But I always have to take a grain of salt with the audio I'm hearing on the gate, your audio, because I know it sounds so much better in person, live. But yeah, I know it's a conundrum. It's going to be impossible, I think, to actually get it dialed exactly like over the air. Being so close to the transmitted audio, I don't know if it's around that or not, but yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks like as long as I don't have saturation going on, and as long as the SDR is listenable, the SDR sounds best over YouTube. So if that's the one I leave in line, that would be probably the better one to leave in line than the Drake. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got going on right now is the SDR feed at this point feeding YouTube. Yeah, I want people to enjoy what they're listening to and not hear anything all distorted and scratchy and disgusting. But at the same time, I don't want to alter my outgoing air signal just to make a YouTube feed sound good,
Yep.
No, you definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. There's only so much you can do, until you figure something out, or I don't know, man. I thought about it in the past, and it's the same issue that I have in here when I'm setting up my audio. My receive radio is so close to my transmitted audio. Even though I turn my transmit audio way down, it still hammers my receiver, that I'm listening to, and it definitely alters the sound. And in my particular situation, I don't know of any remedy for that, and I'm used to it now anyway. So, by the way, I was going to ask you, have you heard from Grandpa? I didn't hear him out here last time I was here, and I heard him out in DX land, I think, talking to somebody yesterday, maybe, I don't know. I heard Skip kind of try to roll in, and I couldn't get out to save my life, but I thought I heard somebody coming back to Grandpa.
10-4. Yeah, he was out there yesterday. I caught him for a little bit, but I was in the middle of testing, and I couldn't really key up and talk to him. I was, I had to finagle too many things around to try to key up and talk, and I did talk to him yesterday, so he's okay. He's doing well, and I guess he's had some pretty good conditions. I'm surprised he's not out here now, and I thought I heard 460 in Texas key up. Was that you there, 460? Heard him, but it was a little bit ago. I think Mother Nature might be flipping and flopping a tad bit. But anyway, yeah, Grandpa's doing good. I'm surprised he's not out here now.
And 10-4. Well, if I don't get a chance to speak the spoke on him before we get out of town, if you wouldn't mind waving at him. But yeah, I gotta go get checked in, man. I gotta get back to work. It's kind of nice to have a break for a change, and man, it's always great talking to you, John. And too bad Grandpa wasn't out here, but yep, I got to get back to work, and I don't know if you're going to be on later or what I'll be doing later, if I'm going to be on or not, but yeah, we'll monitor the channel.
Roger. And by the way, when you look at your signal in the SDR, I'm going to widen this up a little bit. I don't know why I didn't do it until now, but watch your shoulders and watch the peaks and watch how flat they are, not all at the same time, but at different peaks at different times, all the way from the bottom end to the top end. A real nice flatness going on. And I will certainly tell Grandpa Jones you said hello. And let me listen to some more of your audio before you go. I got to go in and I got to grab a shower. I did some work on the pond earlier. And then I came in here, yapped on the radio, and we got to go to a birthday party later on. So I got to go clean up for that. It's been good talking to you. Definitely always enjoyed a QSO when you bump into town and all that good stuff. So go ahead and give me some more audio. I widened this out so you can see the whole shoulder and take a look at it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, 10-4. Now, when you say it's kind of flat, I don't remember seeing any audio like that. Usually, right at the fundamental, it's usually higher. The bassier parts of the audio, it's usually a little bit higher. Kind of like a pyramid, kind of shape. But mine looks kind of flattened out. That's it. That's interesting. I did try to put more presence in there and get a little more mid-range, kind of balance out the lows and the mids and the highs, and kind of give it just an overall balance. But maybe that's what that looks like. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. When you have a high frequency, it peaks up to a certain level. And when you have a mid-frequency, it peaks up to about the same level. And all the various different frequencies peak to about the same level. Not all at the same time. If you in your mind's eye, average it out. I'm trying to figure out how to do it on the SDR. There's a way to do it. Slow it down and average it and all that. But anyway, if you... I don't know how to do it. Anyway, you just got to average it out over time, and you'll see it fills in nice and, if you were to talk for a minute, you would see a carrier, and then it would slope down, and then it would stay flat all the way to the shoulder, and then drop off real sudden. And that's what you want. That's good.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Of course, the peaks are going to be according to whatever frequencies coming out of my voice, but yeah, that's interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. That'll be curious to look at that. I'll definitely get a chance to look at that here in a little while. But yep, I do got to get going. But you know, like I was saying, it's always great talking to you when we get into town. It sounds like you got a pretty busy evening ahead of you. So, you know, if I don't catch up with you on the way out, then we'll catch up with you next time.
That was good. Spaceman out there, where are you? Spaceman, can you hear Bobby Boucher? Hey, Spaceman, with no conditions, where are you to break?
All right, Motor Mamo. All right, Motor Mamo, you got a sloppy copy to breaker.
Yeah, 10-4 there, Spaceman. I got you up in there. I was talking to Bobby Boucher over here. He's in town. Bobby, good to talk to you. Definitely a pleasure with the double measure. Have a good day out there. Be safe. And by the way, play action.
All right, Motor Mamo. All right, Motor Mamo, you got a sloppy copy to breaker.
Oh, Spaceman, I heard you up in there too. Motor mouth mall waving. I got down breaker.
Well, I'll tell one to you. A white spaceman with no conditions, breaker.
Hey, Spaceman, where are you? Don't make me turn on the big box. Hey, Spaceman, where are you to break? Oh well. Bobby Boucher, take care. Catch you later on. Don't work too hard. Motormouth Mall, step in. I'm going to shut this video gate off, and then I'll start another one and let it roll. That way there'll be separate gates.
Yeah, 10-4, I appreciate it, man. All right, Motormouth Mall, you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll catch up with you next time we catch up with you. Bobby Boucher in this 18-wheel mobile, and we're stepping.
410, all right, sounds good. And real fast before I end the gate, I'm going to switch to Drake.
And and give us some more high frequency range up in there, somewhere like that. And anyway, the things, Randy says both the SDR and the Drake are good monitor radios, and the 2510 sucks. All right, catch you later on there, Bobby Boucher. Have a good evening, everybody else on YouTube. Appreciate you bumping it down out there and chiming in. And we'll catch you later on. Motormouth Mall stepping, and I'll start another gate in a little bit.
10-4, all right, man, we'll see ya.
Bye.